Hi, I'm Heba and I'll be taking you through a postnatal Pilates session. So I'd like you to start with your feet about hip width apart, standing nice and tall. We're going to bend the knees. We're just going to tilt our pelvis forward and backwards a few times. So send the bottom in, bottom out, bottom in, bottom out. Let's do some baby circles with the pelvis, focusing on keeping your legs absolutely still. Change direction. And then find your neutral pelvis and come back up. So when I say neutral pelvis, it means that if you were to do a diamond with your hands, so your thumbs are towards your belly button, and your heels of your hands are on the hip bones, fingers down towards the pubic bone. If you were to look down, you should be able to see these 2 points in the same line, your thumbs and your index fingers. And during pregnancy, the pelvis typically will tilt forward a little bit, and that will make you not see your index fingers. And as we're trying to find our neutral alignment back in our pelvis, I want you to think of tucking the tailbone under a little bit so you can actually keep the pubic bone and the hip bones in the same plane. Try and bring awareness to this position for the rest of the session. Standing tall in this position now, we're going to circle the shoulders. And you're probably a little bit sore from carrying so much and breastfeeding. So the first part of this warm-up is really just to open up the shoulders, open up the chest, and change direction, circle. Inhale, extend. Open your chest, turn your thumbs back. Exhale, curve and fold over. Inhale, extend, lift your chest. Exhale, curve and round. You're moving from the upper back for this one, so try keep your hips and your lower back quite steady. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, curve and round. Breathe in, extend. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time. And arms open out to the sides. We're going to glide over one way, glide over the other way, as if someone's pulling you from this arm, and then they're pulling you from this arm, and you're just shifting your ribs over to one side and then the other one. Mobilizing the mid-back and a little bit of the lower back as well, which may be feeling quite tight right now. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and inhale, lift the arms up, and we're going to do some swings. Swing the arms back, bounce the knees, come right back up to standing. Breathe out strongly, inhale up. Exhale, swing the arms back, straight back up again. Let's do 4 more. 4, little bounce in the knees so you feel soft with the knees as you swing the arms. 2, last time, 1, and relax and lower the arms. Okay, let's mobilize the lower back now. So as you breathe in, side bend. Breathe out, drop your head and shoulders heavy for half a circle. Go all the way to the opposite side and back up again. And then inhale, side bend. Exhale, drop your head and shoulders forward for half a circle to the opposite side and back up. Don't go too low on this one. You want to go like just folding over the belly button and really let your head and arms hang like a rag doll. Make this your last one. And relax. Okay, let's go ahead and start to work a little bit. So, I want you throughout the class to think about our neutral pelvis like we talked about, but also think about your core muscles, yeah? So if you've had a little bit of separation in your abdominal muscles, you're going to focus on this even more, okay? So, go ahead and take your legs just into a second position from ballet, turned out, yeah? And I'd like you to bend the knees and sink, and as you breathe out, stretch your legs and come back up again. Breathe in to bend, and breathe out to stretch. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch. Now what I'd like you to think about here is your pelvic floor muscles. So these may feel a bit weakened or numb at this stage, but maybe if you've been working on it right from day one after delivery, you may feel like you've got some feeling there again. Anyway, if you feel them or if you don't, you're just going to try and bring awareness to these muscles. Yeah? So as you breathe out and stretch your legs, I'd like you to think of zipping up through the muscles, your pelvic floor muscles, the muscles that stop you from urinating. So you're going to inhale to bend the knees and exhale, contract your inner unit as you stretch your legs. Inhale to bend and exhale to stretch. And as you think of drawing the pelvic floor muscles up, you're going to feel this corset muscle that just literally wraps around your spine and tightens as you're coming up. So inhale to open and relax the pelvic floor, and exhale, draw the pelvic floor up. Inhale, open the sitting bones as you bend the knees, feel the pelvis itself widen, and then as you exhale, feel your sitting bones coming closer together. So the sitting bones are opening, and that way you feel your legs are free, and then as you come up, your sitting bones are closing and drawing in towards each other. We're going to go for another 10 of these. You can go really slowly on these, just focusing on that zip. So in this postnatal workout, we're working the core indirectly. And when you're drawing up through the pelvic floor muscles like this, you're drawing deep core muscles to connect, which will help, if you do have a little bit of splitting, will help the connective tissues come closer and back together again. Okay, let's hold a little bit and work the legs. So from here, you're just going to do a little bit of pulsing. Little bit of pulsing, just to tension the leg muscles a bit. And you'll start to feel them working. The outside of the legs, a little bit on the inside stretch as well. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch to the side. Come round and down through the center. Stretch to the other side. And slowly come back up. Then we do the wheel on the other side. Stretch. Come round down the center. Stretch to the other side. And back up again. Okay, take your feet a little bit narrower. And you're going to come down into a deep squat position. This, if it's not comfortable for you, just put some pillows under your heels so you're almost in a bit of high heels, and you'll feel like more comfortable in this position. So just think about opening the knees with your elbows and lifting your chest. Take your hands to the floor and see if you can stretch your legs, dropping your head down towards the floor. Only stretch as far as your hands are still on the floor. So you may not straighten your legs completely, and that's all right. So breathe out, stretch. And breathe in to lower. Breathe out to stretch. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out, stretch. Inhale, lower. 3 more. And now think about your pelvic floor again as we come up to standing, drawing the pelvic floor muscles up, and then inhale, come back down to your deep squat position. Exhale, straight up. Inhale to come down. Exhale, pelvic floor muscles draw up as we stretch. Inhale to come back down. If this is uncomfortable on your knees or your ankles or any other joints, just go halfway down. You don't have to go all the way down into your deep squat. And reach up, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Last time, lift and lower and relax. Have a seat. And go ahead and straighten your legs out in front of you. Okay, so one of the areas that gets a little bit tight after pregnancy is also the hip joints themselves. So you're going to lean back. You're going to bend your knees about mat width apart and send your knees over to one side. Come back to center, send your knees over to the other side. Center. And this will just mobilize, it's a good way of mobilizing your hips without involving too much pelvis and lower back. And then go ahead and take a stretch. Cross your leg on left leg over your right, hug your left thigh, and turn as far as you can to look over your left shoulder. And start to channel the air into the back of the rib cage because you're compressing the front. This will mobilize your mid-back and stretch it, which may be feeling a little bit tight from all the carrying, breastfeeding. Then change. Right leg goes over left, hug the right knee, and rotate your body. And center. Okay, let's go ahead and lie down on the back. So, you're back to your neutral position. Your neutral position is when your hip bones and your pubic bone are in the same horizontal plane. As you exhale, you're going to take an imprint position, and as you inhale, you're going to release to neutral. So breathe out, take an imprint. Inhale, release to neutral. Breathe out, imprint. Imprint just means you're imprinting the lower back on the mat. You're pressing down into your feet to allow your pelvis to do that. Now carry on into a spine bridge, now peeling the spine vertebra by vertebra all the way up to a bridge position, and then roll down vertebra by vertebra back to neutral. So on the way up, you're engaging your glutes ever so slightly, but on the way down, try and relax them and don't stay clenching on for too long. So just roll and feel space between the vertebra. And that's what you want to get back after delivery, is that space in the lower back. So every time you place your tailbone down on the mat, feel like you're placing it further and further down, away from the first one that you put. This is a great exercise to mobilize your spine, in particular the lower spine. Okay, now keeping your spine in neutral, we're going to draw up through the pelvic floor muscles again and lift your right leg up to tabletop. And then exhale, we're going to straighten the leg away, focusing on keeping the core connection. Inhale, we're going to bend the knee back in. So breathe out to stretch, and breathe in to bring it back in. Let's do 5 of these. Third one, and bend. Second one, this feels very gentle, but your focus is on that pelvic floor contraction, and sometimes it's these simpler, smaller exercises that you do where you can really bring awareness and focus to those deep core muscles. Take the leg down, try the other leg. Lift as you breathe in. Breathe out, stretch the leg away as you're pulling up. Inhale, release. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, release. Stretch. Release. 2 more. Okay, see if you can bring the other leg up and control the abdomen. So, especially if you have separation here, you may want to stick to single leg one more time on each side. The main thing is you don't feel a bulge or lift in your abdominal muscles when your legs are up. Think of drawing the pelvic floor up and compressing. And I'd like you to put your hands on the abdomen here. And as you exhale, you're going to arc one leg down only as low as you can keep the compression in the abdomen. Inhale to lift it back up again. Exhale, take the leg down, and you can even, with your hands, you can even just gently press down and in a little bit if you do have some separation just to try and encourage them to marry again. Inhale to lift. Exhale, draw the two sides of your abdomen together and in. Inhale, return. Exhale, draw them in. Inhale, return. Breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. 2 more. Last one. And relax, take the legs down, take your arms out to the side, gently rotate your spine one way, send your knees one direction as you exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, send your knees the opposite way. Inhale, come back center. Breathe out. Breathe in center. Breathe out. Inhale, center. Again. And relax. Okay, let's go ahead and roll over on the side. And we're going to focus now on strengthening these gluteal muscles that tend to be a little bit inhibited during the pregnancy. So you can make yourself comfortable, either rest your head on your arm or prop your head up. Line your feet with your bottom with the rest of the spine and just start to do a few climbs. So keeping your feet heavy on top of each other, you're going to open the knee only as much as your hip bones can remain stacked. Breathe out to open and inhale, close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Don't be tempted to open your knee too much because you'll just rock your hips back like this. Keep them stacked. And even if it's just a small amount of movement, every hip joint's different. So keep it small. And you'll start to feel a little bit of warmth in your side of the glute as the muscle starts to work. Okay, now lift your feet a little bit and carry on. Breathe out, open. Breathe in, close. Exhale, open. And even here, try and think of lifting through the abdominals a little bit. And a gentle awareness and core control here. Five more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take the top arm and stretch it over. Pull the wrist of the top arm with the bottom arm so that you're lengthening your top side. Straighten the leg. Feel length now from the heel. Flex your foot. Feel energy coming out of the heel, and you're pulling your arm in the opposite direction. We're going to start to circle the leg round smoothly with control. Going slower through any of those sections of the circle that feel a bit juddery or choppy. You just want smooth, controlled movement, and this muscle now should feel like it's really working. Change direction. Think about an oily hip joint. Again, trying to disassociate the leg from the lower back and pelvis. And relax. Well done. Okay, let's go ahead and turn to the opposite side. So go ahead and just roll over or send your legs the other way. Make yourself comfortable. Bend your knees. Line your feet with your trunk and your bottom. And then when you're ready, breathe out, open, and breathe in to close. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. For the first section, just keeping your feet heavy on top of each other. And then for our next section, we're going to lift the feet and carry on opening and closing. When your feet are lifted, you get a freer hip joint, which means your knee is going to open a lot further. So you will feel a little bit more work going on in the glute just because your leg is opening more. Let's go another 5 and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Stretch the top arm, pull. Stretch your top leg, flex your foot, feel the energy from the fingertips to the heel, and circle the leg around, keeping the rest of the body as still as a statue. Change direction. Remember, smooth, controlled movement, gentle awareness of the core, lifting a bit through the bottom waist. 4 more. And relax. Well done. Let's roll over to all fours now. So this next exercise, we're going to work the deep muscles of the spine that also tend to be inhibited during pregnancy, so we're going to try and wake them up. So we go hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips, do a few pelvic tilts, find your neutral pelvic spine position where you feel like this is flat and you can get some drinks sitting there, no problem. And we're going to press down into our hands and our knee as we stretch one limb away. So you want to be like those tables that when you remove one limb, it magically kind of stays in place. And then take it back down again. So the table doesn't lean to the side. So if you stretch your right leg, try not to lean to the left. And then come back down. This is one of those exercises where you don't feel like you're doing much, but those deeper, smaller stabilizer muscles are the ones that are kicking in. Now, if you're able to, you're going to add opposite arm to opposite leg. And to make this easy, really think about the supporting hand and knee pressing into the ground before you float the other 2 limbs up. So you push the supporting sides down, and then the other 2 will just float up. And especially think of the drinks as you're switching from side to side. Let's go one more time on each side. And child's pose, rest. It's a good stretch for your back. And our last bit of work for this class is going to be our push-ups. So the stronger your arms are, the more you can carry your baby without adjusting or shifting your trunk or posture to do so. So we want nice strong arms and strong chest muscles. So from the child's position, reach as far away as you can. Inhale, come into a box. Exhale, bend your arms, diving forward to the front of the mat, keeping the bottom high in the air. Stretch and come back to child's pose. So you're going to come forward, bend, stretch, and back. And in Pilates, the push-up is also a way to challenge your core and neutral spine under load. So as you're bending your arms and dipping forward, watch that your spine doesn't start to dip down or your core doesn't hang. Make sure when you're doing this that you're really connecting with the core. Whenever you're in a position where you're against gravity, really draw and pull inward and upward as well. So that slight hollowing feeling with the pelvic floor zipped up. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Let's go for another 4. And 4. And 3. 2. 1. And relax. Okay, take your leg across now into our pigeon stretch. You're going to open the knee, slide your other leg back, and just sink into the stretch. Where you're stretching these muscles here on the side. Make sure your hips feel quite centered. Slowly coming up, take your other leg across, open the knee, slide your leg straight. And this stretch is really good for freeing, if you're having any backache still, or here in the sacroiliac joint, it's a good one for freeing up this joint in the back. So if you are feeling any discomfort from your posture change, just sit in this position every day a little bit. It should really help ease off the back, the tension in the back. Okay, coming back up. Bring your feet together. We're going to go back to our deep squat crouching position. Hold this position, lift your chest. Should feel way more comfortable than it did in the beginning of the session. Should feel like now it's actually a resting position rather than a working one. I'm going to take one more big breath in and breathe out. Draw the pelvic floor muscles up to bring yourself up to standing and release. Now we're just going to finish with a fascial stretch. You're going to take your right leg, I'm mirroring you, so the right leg goes behind you, press it down, spread your fingers, and go over to the side. So you're trying to pull and stretch the connective tissue of your body. So by spreading your fingers and opening them apart like that, including the thumb, you'll feel a little bit of extra tension down that side. Stretch tension, I mean. Okay, let's do the other side. So we take the left leg back and across, spread the fingers, go up and over, hold, and relax. And well done. Thank you for joining me on this postnatal workout. I hope to see you again soon.